So you're good, Ben?
I'm good.
You're good, Hannah.
Everybody's so good. So
good.
hello and welcome to Way Too Broad, a place for friends to talk about things that make them sound crazy. I'm Hannah, and these are my co-hosts, Erin and Ben. Hi, Erin.
What up?
What up? I like your shark on your shirt.
Thanks. This is not a shirt. In fact, it is a adult onesie with,
Oh,
sweet.
nice.
with shark feet.
Oh, wow. Is that a Christmas present?
It was Molly and I got these as Christmas presents, matching ones, 5 years ago.
Oh,
That's
cute.
awesome.
Hi, Ben.
Hi. Sorry, I talked before I was introduced. I broke podcast etiquette.
She abruptly changed the subject. That's cute. Hi, Ben.
I hadn't said hi to Ben yet.
That's
I
true.
want Ben to feel involved in the conversation.
Ben, are you wearing an adult onesie shark pajamas?
No, I'm wearing a wool sweater. How crazy would it be if I just happened to be also wearing an adult shark onesie also?
It would have been crazy, and it also would have shown a great deal of discipline for you to save any mention of that for this moment.
I agree with both statements.
Yeah, because Hannah and I have been in a call for like half an hour already.
Yeah, and also we've had to restart this recording like 3 times because of animal issues, so we've been on the phone with each other.
Why have you been on so early? Oh, getting your microphone set up.
Yeah.
I just said microphone.
Did you?
I think I did.
Microphone.
Microphone.
So how was everybody's Christmas? Because I want to talk about Christmas presents.
So good.
Well, Erin
And family.
spoiled one right there. You may notice
What?
I sound a lot better. It's because I got a new microphone for Crimbus.
Yeah, Ben got a brand new microphone. It's exactly the same kind of microphone that I have. So I hope you can tell our voices apart now.
But can Ben blow into his silently like you, Hannah?
No,
I
you
can't. You'll
yet.
hear it if I blow.
No. You can't even hear it if Hannah blows into it.
Yeah.
It's just silence. I don't even hear anything.
No, Ben doesn't have a pop filter, but I'm going to get him one because we also had a misunderstanding in our family. Well, like more of just like a lie of omission between me and my mother, where I asked them if they had gotten Ben a microphone for Christmas, and they said no, and I should do it. And then I didn't do it, but I was planning on it. I was like really late on buying Christmas presents, as I think I talked about last week. And I was like, oh, Ben won't mind if I just tell him I'm buying him a mic, and then it arrives at his house in a couple of weeks. And then before I even got over there on Christmas morning, Ben was sending us pictures of this new Blue Yeti that he'd gotten. So I was like, oh, thanks a lot, Mom.
How did that happen? That didn't sound like an omission. That sounds like your mother lied to you.
She just forgot, I think. She didn't have a great explanation for it.
Yeah, I think she said that she forgot that she said she wasn't going to get it, and then she like found it at Best Buy or something and just got it. Or Dad ordered it through Best Buy somehow. I don't know.
Or something. I thought maybe Dad had gotten it and he had forgotten to tell Mom, but she was like, no, I knew. I don't know what happened.
Sounds like she just blatantly lied to you. Unapologetically at that.
Exactly.
So I have so many burning questions. Were you together, you two, during the holidays? Were your holidays filled with Oj? Did you watch Iron Man 2?
Oh God, we didn't watch Iron Man 2.
Yes, no.
Yeah. So I went to Ian's family's house for Christmas Eve. And then we were going to head over there, like have breakfast with them and open presents, and then head over because my parents and our family only live like an hour away from each other.
Oh, okay.
But so that we did do that, but like I guess we weren't getting there early enough for the family's taste, so they opened all of their presents without us.
That's terrible.
Listen, there was no
that would ruin my Christmas.
No talk
Agreed.
of when you were going to be there. before Christmas
Oh,
Day.
so now
we
this
woke
is
up.
Hannah's fault?
We woke up at
Nobody
like 8.
asked me.
And then we opened
now
them at
you-
like 10, and then you texted us and said, be there by noon, and then we're there at like 12:45.
No, okay, listen, I have so many issues with this. Number one, nobody asked me when we were going to be there before you open presents. The first I heard of anybody wanting to open presents was the text you sent us with the picture with all your open presents in the background talking about your new microphone. And second of all, we were completely on track to be there on time, but there was a huge traffic incident on one of the bridges. Oh, God, I probably just made so much noise.
Yeah, but you didn't go
and we
over
were
that
stuck in
bridge.
traffic for an extra half hour.
I mean,
How am I
leave
supposed to control
earlier.
that?
You could come before noon.
Oh my gosh.
We couldn't. We have family there too. You jerk.
Wait, you were caught in traffic? You were in at Ian's family's house in the morning? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes more sense
We
then.
were
I was
stuck-
confused about how you got caught in traffic because you come over the other bridge.
He thought you were lying.
Who?
He
I thought you
were
were. I thought
lying.
you were using it as an excuse for just being late.
No. There was a light down like across the Sagamore Bridge. This is boring.
This
for
is
people-
so
anyone
boring.
who's
I am
Cape
so
Cod
bored by this
geography.
argument.
I still maintain that you never told us your plan for that morning. Or
Huh?
at least I never heard your plan for that morning, and to my knowledge, no one did. So,
That's not true.
Well,
who'd you tell then?
based on facts I
Mom
just
and
heard.
Dad.
Yeah, based on facts I just heard, if you had asked your mom or dad if they had heard about plans from Hannah, they would have been like, "Oh no," even though they had.
Even though we talked about them at length several times. And they're the same thing we did last year.
This sounds like I'm willing to blame it on mom and dad.
Yeah, I think it's their fault.
Keep emailing us though.
I just think someone could have asked me. Huh?
somebody could have asked you. They
Yeah.
ruined Christmas for you, plain and simple.
Plain and simple. Nothing went right after that. Erin, I know where you were at Christmas because of Google Maps, but
All right.
why don't you tell us about your Christmas?
Yeah, we go to Maryland to visit with Molly's family every year for Christmas, and it's so great. The reason that we do that is because I refuse to miss a Thanksgiving with our family. So we always just do Christmas with Molly's family, which is so great. We laid around in our pajamas, opening presents for hours, drinking mimosas, eating pastries.
You opened presents for
It was
hours?
awesome. Yeah. They do it real slow. They wait for everyone to arrive.
Ben.
We woke up at 8, and then we do stocking stuffers just one at a time, really leisurely. And then we break for breakfast, where we had mimosas, and we brought pastries from our German bakery. So we had ham and cheese croissants and chocolate croissants and danishes, and ate a really leisurely breakfast. And then we sit back down, and there's a bunch of us, and just open presents one at a time really slowly. And we started at 8 with a break in between, and ended at I want to say 2.
Oh my god.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Such patience.
Well, it was, it's fun. It makes it last the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ian's family does the same thing, which is why we couldn't leave earlier, and nor would I want to, because they do stockings and then they do breakfast,
Love it.
and then everybody takes turns.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long because there's not as many of us there. But
Yeah.
Well, we
I
all
love
just
it.
dig in at our house.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't like that.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm not there, so it doesn't matter.
I don't mind it either way, really. But
Oh, that's good. Flexy.
Yeah, but it did cause me to forget. I have a present for my mom in the backseat of my car that got buried under some stuff from Ian's parents' house, and I didn't notice that it was missing because everybody was opening presents at the same time.
That's crazy. I love to watch people open presents and get them. I'm like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, face on my hands, leaning forward, gazing, blinking, expectantly. What were some of your favorite presents you got this year?
You want me to go first, Ben?
Yeah, you go first.
There was like an awkward silence after I asked that.
Oh no, I was just reaching for. I got these headphones
Oh.
from. They were 2 Hannah from fans But I'm pretty sure the fans were mom and dad. But that's legit.
She's not
They're
wearing
fans.
them. Let the listener note. She's not wearing them.
Here's why.
Let the fans note.
Here's why. They're gonna be great for editing. They are over-ear headphones. They're this cool, like, dark gray blue color. They're Bluetooth enabled, but you also can plug them in.
I love that.
If you're stupid like me and you can never remember to charge these things. And they have, like memory foam around the outsides of them, so they're really comfortable. However, when I wear them when I'm trying to record, I can't hear my own voice except for inside my head. And earlier, before you were on, Erin, we were trying out, like, being able to hear our own inputs from the mic into our headphones.
Ooh.
And it was making me feel like I was on drugs because I could hear everything I was saying, but at a slight delay. It's just, like, very weird. So I record
those will
with
be great
one
for editing.
So I record with one oh my god, earbud. One earbud in.
One earbud. Wait, airbud?
and another one out so that I can hear myself. Okay.
Oh, nice. Cool.
So
My favorite gift far and away was what Kylie got me, which was the second edition of Dominion. Which was my obsession.
We all got
a few weeks
Dominion.
ago. Each
of us got Dominion for Christmas.
Dominion was also my favorite. My brother got it for me, and I got it on Thursday, and then we took it to Molly's family's house, and the night we got there, we were like, we're teaching everyone to play. In hindsight, we didn't
I got it on Thursday, too.
So great. In hindsight, we didn't ask anyone if they wanted to play, but they were all really into it, and in fact, Molly and I played a lot, just the two of us. But, like, there was no one there. I was really missing you guys because there was no one there who wanted to play it. Like, I would have played it every hour of every day, but there wasn't anybody there who was, like, just as into it as I was. So there were some times when I wanted to play, but nobody was really feeling like playing.
It's too bad you can't play one person Dominion.
I thought about, like, how... If you could have a goal other than the most villages, I was like, how would you do that so you could play one person Dominion?
I don't think it's possible.
Well, if you had an aggressive goal that wasn't always easy to meet, and you had to use the right amount of, like, a certain point amount or something, I don't know.
Oh, I see what you're saying. But then the fact that other people aren't buying them makes it easier.
You're right.
Kylie has been close to as into it for pretty much right away as I was. We've been playing a lot of one-on-one, which is actually a lot more fun than I thought it would be, just playing with one other person.
Yeah,
Same.
it is fun.
Same.
Ian and I have been playing a lot too. He's like basically always willing to play. He doesn't often ask me to, but he's really good at it, so it's kind of frustrating. Like, I think I've won against him one time.
Oh no.
What's weird about playing with two people is that like usually when cards come up, like, and you're playing with like four people or whatever, you'll like be like, oh, I love that one. Oh, that one is really interesting with this one. You like discuss. But when you're just playing with two people, it's like it's not a good idea to discuss potential strategies because they're your only opponent. So it's like there's this weird like thoughtful silence before every game.
Yeah, I did that. I opened my mouth to say something. It was something like, oh man, I don't remember what it was. But I had opened my mouth to be like, oh, this would be a good strategy. And then I was like, I closed my mouth. But I enjoyed like trying to intentionally use a different strategy every time.
Yeah, I've been doing that too. Because normally I like just go for chapel style stuff where you like trash as much stuff as possible and make a really fast deck. But I've been doing like different, especially with the new cards in the second edition, have been really fun to play with.
Yeah. There was a game that had like a remodel and a mine in the same one, and an artisan, I think, which I love. And so I was just like remodeling gold and artisans into provinces, and it was just this really fun, like, mixture of things that I hadn't done before.
Yeah, because you can remodel an artisan into a province. That was a game Ian and I played. There was, what was the third one? He was turning something. He was remodeling something into artisans, and then he was remodeling artisans into provinces. And it was because we had played a game the night before where everybody had gotten bandits.
Yes.
And suddenly it was like really unadvantageous to have a lot of gold and silver in your hand.
Yes.
And so he was like trying to figure out like what's a way that I could like bandit proof my deck, and that's what he came up with and wanted to play it.
That was insane. We had 5 people, and everyone had like 2 bandits, I think. And so there in the set there are 30 golds like in the like box that you get, and we ended up trashing 26 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
You're talking about our game from the night before.
Yeah. And the game was so slow because of it, because no one had any money.
Nobody had money. There's just a huge pile of gold in the trash.
I did a game where we had bandits, and I didn't get any bandits, but we had a lot of cards that gave you extra money. So I acquired absolutely no gold or silver the whole game, and won just off cards that gave you like +1/+2.
Yeah, awesome. Like Vassal.
Right? Yeah.
Vassal's really nice for that. Like
I love the Vassal. Yeah.
I used it in that game we played last night where I ended up getting like 100-something points. I used Vassal a lot because my deck was so full of gardens and other victory cards that I just like needed to cycle through it quickly, and so the discarding the top card of my deck was really, really nice.
That's awesome.
Loved it.
Okay, so a lot of people maybe won't
probably cut
understand anything we just said for like the past 5 minutes.
I'm gonna keep a fair bit of it in probably because people can go back and listen. I think we talked about Dominion right after the Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
So that would have been episode 14. Yeah. So if you want to hear more about like the basics of Dominion, which is what we've been talking about, it's a card game. If you haven't listened to episode 14, we have a long segment where we explain a lot of it there. But if you haven't played it and you're not really being able to gather what it's like from all this conversation, you should absolutely go play it because it's really, really fun.
We will play it with you.
We'll play it with you. We'll finally get that shit. What's
Tabletop simulator.
We'll finally get that shit.
Yeah. We'll finally get that tabletop simulator, and we'll play with anybody listening to this that wants to play.
We really need to get that together.
We'll get the tabletop simulator. We will make the the Twitch channel for it, and we will do it all together if you want to play with us.
It's gonna be called Way Too Dominion.
I would do like a whole Dominion would be my obsession this week if we hadn't already had that as our obsession.
I thought about the loophole could be that we're talking about Dominion 2nd edition as the obsession. Last time we talked about 1st edition.
I have a follow up though from last week. I don't want to skip past it. Then you talked about Pokemon. Was that last week or the week before?
Week before.
That was week before. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have been watching something today that is extremely Pokemon, and I wanted to tell you about it because it's also extremely McElroy. It's just a coming together of things that we love. So back in 2016, it turns out Griffin McElroy did a what's called a Nuzlocke run through of Pokemon Y. Have you heard of that, Ben?
Yeah, I've done them before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I have the rules here, so I'm gonna explain it for anybody listening that hasn't, and for Erin. Did you play Pokemon X and Y? Of course you did.
No.
Yeah, I played all of them.
Yeah.
Don't presume.
Well, Ben did. I know that you didn't, Erin.
Oh,
but,
why do you know? Don't presume.
It's the Pokemon. It's the 3DS Pokemon.
Oh
game.
yeah, no, I'm not into that 3DS.
So the Nuzlocke rules, I don't know where they got their name. Do you, Ben?
The Nuz part is from the Pokemon Nuzleaf, and I don't know what the rest of the story is. I just know that the Nuz is from Nuzleaf.
Weird. Okay. So the Nuzlocke rules are as follows. You can only catch the first new Pokemon you encounter in each area, meaning if every time you enter a new part of the like map, basically, you can capture like the first Pokemon you come across and no other ones. If you accidentally kill that Pokemon or you make it faint, if you knock it out, then you just don't get any Pokemon in that area. You're just not allowed to have any from wherever you are. If the first one you come across is one that you've already caught before, you can like skip it and go to the next one. But that never happened to him in this whole series. The real killer one is rule number 2, which is if a Pokemon faints, you have to release it because it's dead. Basically, rather than the Pokemon fainting, meaning you have to go heal it, it means that it died, which is kind of more realistic, but it changes the whole way that you play every battle because you're like actually risking your like pets' lives every time that you play.
Interesting.
Yeah, no healing items can be used in battle. The game must be on set mode, which means that it basically makes like battles more difficult. And every time you beat a gym, you have to trade a member of your team. So there's a thing on this version of Pokemon where like you and another person like somewhere on the internet can like send out a Pokemon into the world. You'll connect with each other and like trade Pokemon, but it's like a blind trade, so you don't know what you're going to get back for whatever you're putting out. It's called Wonder Trade, yeah. You have to do that with one of the Pokemon that was like on your team when you beat the gym every time that you beat a gym. So
I've never heard that rule. That's interesting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, you missed one.
Yeah.
Though.
What's that?
You have to nickname all of your Pokemon.
Right.
To get attached to them.
Very true. He said that one was like kind of an unwritten rule, but he did do it. So I watched almost the entire playthrough today after I finished working because I'm working from home this week, and it was super fun and funny and good, and like it really helped raise the stakes for me as someone watching a person play Pokemon, and reminded me like what can be so fun about it. And also like Griffin is not such an expert that I find his like he didn't know. A lot of the Pokemon that he came across, he wasn't sure what types they were, and he was like making a lot of guesses and having to like look things up, although he was trying not to. But that made me feel a little bit more like I could relate to him as he was playing through. So I enjoyed it. It's if you look up Pokemon Y Nuzlocke, it's Nuzlocke. You can find that, and it's a fun watch, I think. And the nicknames obviously are very silly. Because it's Griffin McElroy, and nobody knows how to nickname something like he does.
Does the type of the Pokemon matter? Does the type of the Pokemon really matter?
In battle, it matters a lot.
Because other types are super effective against it, and other types are and you're resistant to some types. Things like that.
Who created the Nuzlocke?
I don't know.
See, I would have guessed it was somebody whose last name was Nuzlocke, but you blew that out of the water for me, Ben.
I think it's based on a internet comic or something. That just popped in my mind.
Oh, like the Bechdel test?
Maybe. I don't know.
He might have explained it in the first episode of the series. And
I used to know this, but I cannot remember. I never do.
Anyway, I'll put a link to it, but I wanted to tell you that I'm finding a way to enjoy Pokemon now. I thought you'd be happy.
Yeah, those are really fun to watch, and they're fun to do too. They make it a lot more challenging. I've never done them with rules that's super strict, because you can like obviously there's no like nothing stopping you from actually breaking any of those rules when you're just playing through it yourself. So like sometimes I'll use healing items or whatever. There are like really strict ones where like you're not allowed to use a Pokemon Center and things like that. So like you have to heal only with items outside of battle and use all your money to buy healing items. Yeah, they're like crazy difficult versions. And also, I never released the Pokemon. I just put them in a box, not use them anymore. I just put them in the PC and not use them anymore.
Oh, really?
Because I always feel sad releasing Pokemon.
Does PC mean Pokemon Cooler?
Huh?
Does PC stand for Pokemon Cooler?
Stands for personal computer.
I just put them in the cooler and don't use them anymore.
I don't know why it's not very personal, is it? Like the PCs are in the Pokemon. No, PC stands for Pokemon Center.
Nope.
It doesn't?
Nope. No. Well, I mean, they both can abbreviate to Pokemon, like Pokemon Center and personal computer both do abbreviate to PC, but the PC in the game is just like PC in real life. It's just a computer.
For real?
But it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's for real. It's just you put your Pokemon in the computer.
What?
What?
Yeah, it's weird.
I feel like that's breaking the fourth wall.
I think the original idea is that, like, if you watch in the anime, Ash would, like, send his Pokemon. He would, like, go to the PC and talk on the video phone with Professor Oak, and then he would, like, send his Pokemon to Professor Oak to be stored there. But it seemed to have not held on to that in the games, and you just store them in boxes on the computer.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
and there's
weird.
like 5 or 6 boxes, but I can't understand why. They're just different colors.
There were like 30
Ow.
boxes.
Sorry, my desk just stabbed me. Okay.
Brutal.
Okay, done.
Erin's Erin is up first.
I want to do the what's everyone drinking segment.
Sure, yeah.
You go first, Hannah. Well, we know
Okay.
Ben's drinking water.
Ben's drinking
Correct.
water. I'm drinking my red beer again.
Oh, great.
We had some of it left. I'm actually on my second one because I
Awesome.
accidentally finished my first one almost while Ben and I were
have a
setting up.
fridge full of Miller High Life behind me. So
What?
maybe I'll have some of that. I don't know, the mini fridge in my parents' basement for some reason has a ton of Miller High Life in it.
Wow.
And I have no good explanation for it.
Weird.
Well, cool.
Isn't it?
I've never seen any of them drink a Miller High Life before.
It's the champagne of beers.
Any
Maybe
of
it's
our
for New
parents.
Year's.
Maybe.
Well, I'm drinking a red wine here.
Yeah.
And then I also have a hot chocolate full of Kirsch.
Ah,
Nice.
you have another cherry hot chocolate.
I do. It's really good, y'all.
Black Forest hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Mm. What a treat.
Excuse me.
Well, cool.
You're
I'll go
excused.
first then.
Okay.
Well, great. So, my obsession this week, it would be Dominion, as previously stated, just all day. But, it's instead another, Christmas present I got. The Christmas presents I got were basically like, I got a bunch of knives and cookbooks, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
One cookbook in particular, it's not really a cookbook, it's this really cool book called The Science of Cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And it's every question answered to perfect your cooking. And it's basically like all of the science bits for like why is there white meat and dark meat? What, happens when you slow cook something? How can you tell if an egg is fresh? What are the differences between eggs? What are the differences between fish? Why do the muscles in fish look different than the muscles in, land animals? So, it's really freaking interesting, and I've learned a lot of awesome facts. It's by Dr. Stuart Farrimond, and I think he has a, PhD in food science, and then he might also have a Michelin star. I don't remember.
Cool.
I might be making that part up. I probably am. But anyway.
Let's give him one. Let's give him one right now.
Yeah, I would nominate him for one. I assume he's also a good chef, in addition to, being a scientist and writing this really cool book. Yeah, I totally made that up. He doesn't have...
What's it
but
called
he
again? The Science of Cooking?
The Science of Cooking. Yeah. Anyway, it's really freaking interesting. I've been reading it, from front to back. I'm not
I feel like that would be awesome to know. Because, one thing I noticed when I'm watching the Great British Bake Off is, how much, the people that do the best are the people that, really understand how and why everything is cooking the way it is.
Exactly.
I feel like it could really help you just to, know exactly what's happening to actually cook better.
Yeah. Exactly. It's they're the ones who do best on the technicals, because they, actually know what the heck is going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought I'd try to find a fun fact that I didn't know. Well, some things, they also do in this book, a lot of really nice things debunking myths. So here's one. Mythbuster. Myth: marinades infuse meat with flavor. It is physically impossible for marinades to penetrate far into meat. most flavor molecules are too large to squeeze into the muscle tissue cells in meat, which are around 75% water and packed tightly like a sodden sponge. Oil molecules, which disperse most of the flavor molecules, are also unable to enter muscle cells. This means that oil and flavor molecules infuse no farther than a few millimeters into the meat and instead pool on the surface. So that's a fun fact. They also have things like, they talk about how to make... They have little pockets of recipes. It's mostly like the sections are like meat is first. So there's like kitchen essentials, and then there's a meat section, and then a fish section, and then an egg section, and then they have kind of different sections after that, like rice and pasta and stuff. And it's mostly like food facts, but then they'll have like little pockets of recipes, but then the steps are really detailed. So I saw a recipe for pork crackling somewhere else, and the recipe just said to score the skin, right? Pork crackling is just like pork skin. And this recipe says, score across the skin, making the scores a finger width apart. Make sure you score down well into the fat, but not right through the meat. During cooking, the moisture escapes through the cuts, and fat will bubble up and fry on the surface. I'm like, that's exactly what I'm looking for, right? Like, I don't want like a blind instruction. I want to know exactly like why you're doing what you're doing, because then you can do it more efficiently, and not accidentally kind of get the result that you're looking for. Anyway, really great book. Have learned so much so far, and they also have a lot of really great stuff in addition to like straight up facts, like like why things are the way they are. They also have kind of applying science to making things like a tasty sauce. So it's kind of like, or like one of the first sections is like why flavors go together, and kind of has this really cool graph of like, what can I show you guys? But like flavor molecules and stuff, and like what things that pair well tend to have, the same kind of flavor molecules contained in them, and so it kind of shows
that's cool
the connections between different ingredients and how strongly they're correlated and stuff like that. So anyway,
that's really neat. Ian would love that.
Yeah, it's been so fun. I've been really psyched. My sister-in-law and her fiance got this for us.
That's so neat.
Got this for me.
Have you seen, there's a Netflix special called Science versus Chefs, or Science versus Cooking, or something like that?
No.
It's like this one guy who's a molecular scientist, and then this other guy who's a 5-star Michelin chef or whatever, and they like are in the kitchen together, and you see how like they try to cook the same dish, but one of them uses like, traditional like super fancy restaurant methods, and the other one uses like science and like all kinds of weird chemicals and stuff to see if they can like get similar results. The judge of the food is the same guy who's doing the cooking on the cooking side, because he's like the authority on flavor, so that in that way it feels sort of biased, and it's just like a one-off special. It's like less than an hour, but it's really interesting and funny and cute. I think you would like it.
That's really cool.
One of the judges is one of the competitors.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem right at all.
Yeah, okay. But it's all in good fun. It's not like there's no prize. It's just.
I want to talk about one more fact I learned that I'm gonna probably mumble my way through. Okay. But I thought was really really cool. That I've always wondered is why lobsters and shrimp and crabs are blue, but then turn red when you cook them. And so they get that red pigment from the food that they eat, just like flamingos do. It's kind of the same. I think it's the same animal that they eat that contain the same component that's red. And so the lobsters store that in their shell. They store that red pigment, but they also produce this protein that's blue that attaches to that red pigment and masks it. when you cook it, when you cook the lobster, that protein kind of unravels, revealing that red pigment that
Wow.
in there. Yeah, I thought that was so neat.
That is so neat.
Yeah.
Remember that Magic School Bus where the kid turned orange?
No.
Nope. Just you.
It's because he was eating too many like seaweed snacks, and they were green on the outside, but they were orange on the inside.
Oh, whoa. Maybe it's because of the same reason.
Maybe. I mean, it's a cartoon, so probably not.
Yeah.
Well, cool segment, Erin.
Thanks.
I might get that book for my husband.
Yeah. I think he would like it. I really do.
Me too.
Sounds cool.
I haven't finished it yet, but there's a lot of really awesome sections I'm looking forward to getting to.
Excellent.
Excellent segment.
Thanks.
Am I up
Erin's
next? All right.
I got a little clap.
Yeah, you are up next, Ben.
I am going to change mine mid-show.
Oh, shit.
So I was originally thinking of talking about Star Wars, the new Star Wars movie. So I saw it a couple days ago. But Erin hasn't seen it, and it did only come out like a week and a half ago or so.
Can we just
Don't change it
say
on my
then?
account.
Well, but
Yeah.
can we just say, if you're not going to do that, that it's... I think it was pretty great. I know that some people have problems with it, but I loved it.
Do you want to hear my thoughts on it?
Yeah.
Real quick? Thought it was not super great at all.
You thought it was what?
I thought it was not super great at all. I thought it was like, okay. There were a lot of really glaring problems with it, including the main plot point being very boring.
What was your obsession going to be then?
I was just going to talk about my thoughts on it in general, because I like in general. I love Star Wars as a series, and I loved the last one a lot, and I thought this one was significantly worse than the last one.
When you say the last one, do you mean
Episode 7?
the last one, or the one that contained these characters again?
I mean, The Force Awakens, Episode 7. I don't mean Rogue One.
I don't know what the episodes are. Is that the one
Episode
where Spock
7 is
dies?
the one that came out 2 years ago.
Did you say Spock?
Yeah, is that the one where Spock dies?
You jerk.
It's like a minor hobby of mine to pretend to confuse Star Wars and Star Trek in front of people who I think will care. Because some people know I'm kidding or like think I am, but will just like let me know just in case. And I just love, because I have things like that where I'm just like so tightly wound up that I can't let it go, you know? And I love it.
No, was Rogue One the most recent one?
Yeah.
I know it was like a standalone thing. So, okay. I gotcha.
It was the most recent and the most Rogue one.
And I actually liked Rogue One more than this one also.
Mm.
I didn't see Rogue One.
It's pretty good.
Announcement.
I have an announcement.
I haven't seen Rogue One. I did see The Force Awakens. And I
That's
figured
like a
that
mild inside joke, family inside joke that we've never talked about. Is I have an announcement.
Yeah, we should get into that.
When we so at Thanksgiving, as we've talked about, we have like 30 Browns in the same house, and we have this rule basically where if you shout, "I have an announcement," everyone has to stop and listen to what you're saying.
We're such cross-talkers and over-talkers and interrupters that
it's like our safe word for conversation.
This actually started in my immediate family. We needed a mechanism to, like, really for my little sister to get a word in ever. Because she's more polite than the rest of us. So we came up with I have an announcement, and it has to be universally adhered to. It's like, if for it to ever work ever, everyone has to be a steward of I have an announcement and scold anybody who tries to talk over it.
We definitely, we really do adhere to it. Like, it quiets the room.
Absolutely.
It's really astounding.
Yeah, I have to tell you, it works pretty well. in situations outside of our family too, because I tried it like right after
It sounds
Thanksgiving.
important.
I had, you know how I recently left my my former workplace. They had like a little going away thing for me at this bar, and there was like a whole crowd of my coworkers at a bar, and I needed to tell them that we were going into another room to get a table. And so I just like yelled, "I have an announcement!" like at the end of the bar.
Yeah.
And like I got everybody's attention.
It's a good tool.
Yeah.
It's good to know it works on the outside as well. I have definitely like scolded, I think probably my dad, for talking over and I have an announcement. Because without that, it's just chaos.
Right.
And with it, it's not chaos. We have a controlled system.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just need to know how to work around it.
Exactly. Well, okay, so Erin, tell us your thoughts on why you haven't seen Rogue One, or why you wouldn't care, not Rogue One, why you haven't seen the new Star Wars, and why you wouldn't care about it being spoiled.
Yeah, good question. I just really don't care about the Star Wars all that much. I'm fine with them. I don't not enjoy them. I don't, like, look forward to seeing them. Like, I expect I'll watch The Last Jedi in the same way that I saw The Force Awakens, which was, like, a couple of years later, or maybe later that year. I was at a friend's house, and they were like, "Do you want to watch The Last Jedi," or whatever the one was, The Force Awakens? And we were like, "Cool, that sounds chill." And then we watched it, and I was like, "That was a movie I just watched." It's kind of like that. I just like haven't. It's not like a strong feeling. It's like lack of a feeling about it. I'm like, cool. I'm like certainly not going to go like pay movie theater prices for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might, if it's like free on Amazon Prime one night, and we're like half a bottle of wine in, and we might be like, "I want to see this," and we probably won't. It's kind of like that.
I don't know how to categorize. I'm somewhere between. Like, I don't usually care about spoilers that much, but I avoided anything that mentioned Star Wars before I went to see it. But I don't, like, I can't think of a way that my experience would have been different if I had listened to those things and heard them talk about it. Do you know what I mean?
I would prefer it not to be spoiled, but I think, honestly, like, if we were going to say that we were going to talk about it next week, then I would be more tempted to, like, maybe go out and see it this week.
The plot of the new movie is so boring that it's hard to spoil anything interesting.
I really liked it, but I will say the thing that sticks out in my mind the most about this Star Wars, and thinking back, like, pretty much all of them, is like more the visuals and the scene making and like the art of it than the actual storylines. Really?
Yeah.
And that definitely continued into this one, where like there were parts that just looking at them made me feel so excited that like this is something that was put to film, that like I was just like so happy to see it on the big screen and everything. Like I always forget I'm gonna have those moments, and then I have them, and I'm glad that I went.
That's compelling.
But I don't agree with Ben that it was boring. I wasn't bored. I was like edge of my seat, excited for a lot of it.
I think like action movies too, like that plot it's not interesting to me. Like action movies, I find often like are exhausting.
They put
like,
me to sleep usually.
Adventure movies where you're like are working towards this like the Lord of the Rings. Good God,
I love the Lord of the Rings.
Exhausting. It's just like that like premise to me. You're just like you're like on a trek. You're like walking a lot. Like
just
that's
on your grind.
I'm just like, that sounds so tiring. I want to see a movie, like, I'm more interested in a movie, like, my favorite movie is a movie of, like, 2 hours of sexual tension, right? Like, that's my jam. Like, nothing happens. I saw a tweet that was, like, the perfect rom-com where, like, the leads never kiss or something like that. I was like, yes, that's perfect.
That was my epiphany about Dirty Dancing the last time I watched it. Not to bring it up again, but I didn't actually say this last time.
Not to bring it up again, but I've been waiting.
Not Havana Nights. I don't want to talk about Havana Nights anymore.
Speaking of your dirty martini, I love Dirty Dancing.
Not to bring it up again, but
I hadn't really thought about why do I like this movie so much. And the last time I watched it, I realized that like it takes them forever to kiss each other.
Oh
like
God, that's what I was thinking of.
Faces so close to each other, touching each other in like
it.
the most intimate places, and never kissing or like even like considering the romantic element of this whole thing, because they're practicing for a dance competition.
Right.
You know?
Right when Erin said that about the perfect rom-com being one where they don't kiss, I was like, I had a conversation about this with someone recently, and I'm realizing now I was talking to you about Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
And you said almost exactly that.
Yeah, I love some sexual tension.
It's
Hannah.
great.
Yep.
There's sexual tension in this movie.
I said I wasn't going to talk about Star Wars, and now we've talked.
I'm sorry, you're like
Star
whole
Wars.
segment time.
Well, I'm wondering if we should just not do what I was going to talk about.
We've talked about talking about Star Wars, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. Oh my god. The closest thing we got to a spoiler was something that I could cut out, and then we could say that we're going to be doing this. That we're going to talk about Star Wars next week.
Okay.
If you want to talk about your book.
This was like
it's
talking
not
about
a book
Star Wars
either.
tension.
I have a really odd thing to talk about.
Now I'm really curious about what it is, so I think that we should
What
do
is it?
All right. It's Kylie's lung.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Because this is really interesting. She has a very interesting condition. So right now...
Has she okayed you to talk about this?
Yeah, it was her idea.
Oh, okay.
So her lung is collapsed right now.
Wait, so you're stealing
God.
another topic idea from Kylie?
maybe we have the wrong person on the pod. JK.
Her lung is currently collapsed. Her
Only
left
effing
lung.
G. Is that
as it often
incredibly
is.
painful?
It is. It's more like uncomfortable than super painful. It depends on the position she's like sitting or lying down in. But it's been better the past couple days. Like it's getting better, and it always does. And the reason is that, I should say that it collapses, or gets close to collapsing almost every month, during her period.
Oh gosh.
And it's because we theorize, and I think at least one of her doctors has suggested that she has endometriosis on her lung, which basically means that she has uterine tissue on her lung, so that when her uterus sheds every month, the walls of her lung also start to shed.
You are blowing my fucking
Isn't
mind.
that insane? Crazy? And it's, you know what's crazy is that like she has a cousin who's in nursing school, and they like talked about as a case study an example of someone who had this, and they talked about like how rare it is, and everyone in the class was like, "Oh my god, periods are awful already. Can you imagine if your lung like also collapsed during it? I can't possibly imagine." And then like Kylie has that, and it's like,
oh my god. Okay, so she has uterine tissue on her lung, so the chemicals that her body is producing to encourage her uterine lining to shed, that tissue that is on her lung is also responding to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Holy
That's my understanding of it, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
And it's like...
It's wild.
And what's even... It's like, the last time she went to the hospital for this, which was, I think in like May, because it was also... So this is the most recent big collapse was during the finals week in spring semester, and then this collapse was during finals week of this semester.
Oh, man.
And we went to the hospital last time, and they did an x-ray of her lung, and they found that she has like a bunch of scar tissue all over her lung. And this is actually kind of the craziest part, is because the procedure to stop it, to like stop this from happening, is a preventative thing where they basically open her up and rub her lung with like a medical Brillo pad to like form scar tissue because it's stronger.
Wow.
But when she already has a bunch for some reason, we're not sure why, And because of that, her lung never collapses more than like 15%.
Wow.
And that's like the cutoff for when you have to be intubated. So because of the scar tissue that's there for no apparent reason, like usually that happens if you get like pneumonia when you're a baby or something, like you get really sick when you're younger. She never had anything like that, but she has a scar tissue all over her lung. And that keeps it from collapsing fully.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild.
Holy
It's such a like strange and interesting and unique condition.
Yeah. Does it have a name?
I think it's just endometriosis. Because I think endometriosis refers to that phenomenon of uterine tissue being where elsewhere in the body. But usually it's like on the fallopian tubes or like near the uterus. It's pretty uncommon for it to be like on her lung.
Yeah.
Although there are other people with it. And like it was actually really nice because like once she discovered that this was, or she figured out that she thinks this is what she had, she kind of diagnosed it herself. She looked online about it, and there's like, she found like this whole message board of women who have this same thing talking about like how they deal with it, and they all like described the exact same phenomenon. So we're like pretty 100% sure that that's what she has.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah. It's pretty fucking, I mean, it's awful.
Yeah.
For her, but it's also like kind of, I don't know, our bodies are crazy.
Yeah.
Can't you just like blow in her mouth and like puff it back up?
Well, that's the thing, is her breathing never gets affected. Her breathing's always at 100%.
It's just like pain.
Yeah, it's just it's she describes it as like she feels bubbles rising out of her lung and then exerting a bunch of pressure on like her shoulder.
Oh,
that's
gosh.
like where the pain is mostly. And actually, it was so bad this time I could like hold her chest and feel little bubbles.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I wonder. So is it the air? Is it actually the air escaping her lungs from them collapsing that's causing the pain?
I think so. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Because when I had a surgery, like a what's it called? I had my gallbladder removed, but it's the
appendagallbladder.
What?
Appendagallbladder.
Okay, I said appendix. And then I said, and then you said gallbladder, and then we were saying appendagallbladder, like a portmanteau.
Yeah. No, that's great. Great job. So,
a clumsy portmanteau.
But the word I'm looking for is the way they did the surgery.
A laparoscopic.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I had a laparoscopic
What does that mean?
surgery, and so like in order to do that, I guess they have to like pump some air into you. Oh yeah. And so they warned me.
They pumped you up.
Yeah. So they warned me after like after I woke up, they warned me that I might have pain in my shoulder because the air that they had pumped into me could end up there and like cause me to hurt in my shoulders. So I imagine it's like this, probably a similar pain.
That happened to me too.
It was your appendix, right?
My appendagallbladder. Yeah, it was my appendix, but it was the same situation.
Yeah.
Huh, yeah, so I guess it's the same kind of thing, but it just happens to her, like, that kind of thing, not her lung not fully collapsing, but that pressure and bubbles happens pretty much every month.
Man, oh man.
Sorry, Kylie, but...
The good news is, to end this segment on a positive note, she's going to see a pulmonologist on January 9th.
Oh, great.
So hopefully we'll get started on fix this, or at least alleviate it a little bit.
Hopefully we'll get started on fix this.
That's my motto.
Well, that's great news. Good segment.
Thanks.
There's
double segment.
Like a flippy flappy noise coming from, I think, your end.
Flippy flappy?
Yeah, like a flippy flappy noise.
I don't hear anything, Hannah.
I don't know what that means.
Does it sound like this?
It sounds like...
Oh, that's Erin's mic, I think.
Is it?
I think I just heard it when Erin was talking.
Oh no, do you hear it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like right after you stop talking.
Oh, I see it on my...
Oh, that's weird.
I see it in my...
I didn't notice it before, though. I don't think it's been happening
the whole... I don't think it has been happening the whole time. And I might be able to... Okay, well, that's fine.
I see it... I see it, like, in this... You know... What are you laughing at me?
Waveform.
Yeah.
No, I just see it in Audacity after I stop talking.
So weird.
A little flippy flappy. Do you still hear it?
Yeah. That's kind of funny.
That's all right.
That's weird. Sorry about that.
Let's leave this all in, by the way.
Sorry about this, flippy flappy.
Listeners, enjoy the extra bonus flippy flappy noise.
I'm sorry, I can't wait to listen to my audio and listen to it. Do you still hear it? Is that why you're laughing?
That wasn't why I was laughing, but I do still hear it. Maybe you're up too loud this time.
Flippy, flappy.
Anyway.
How about now?
How about right now?
How about right now? How about now? How about right now?
Yeah, but don't worry about it, Erin.
Okay.
I only thought that it was a problem because it was Ben.
That's an episode title.
I've been trying to figure out a way to get him off this ear snack from the beginning.
And get Kylie on.
Yeah. Kylie wouldn't cause a flippy flappy.
She would never.
I didn't cause a flippy flappy.
Okay, so
Hannah's turn.
it's my turn. Great segment, Ben. Sorry about your lungs, Kylie.
Sorry,
But-
Kylie.
But you are interesting, so there's that. And I hope that they find a good start to a good solution in January.
Start to get fixed.
Yeah. Okay. So my obsession is a video game of sorts. It's it's called, well, how do I want to start this? Yesterday,
I think you've already started it.
Yesterday, Ian and I were looking at some of the content Polygon.com has put out over the Christmas holiday because we thought that they would be shut down, but they put out a few videos that we missed. So we were like, oh, let's go back and see. So like there's some great top 5 videos, individual people that work there if you're interested. But one thing they put out was called like the best music of video games in 2017. And it was a live stream they had done. And we didn't realize till we opened it that the way that they were sort of sharing these, they basically, like a bunch of people that worked there picked songs from video games that they really liked, and they were like playing them on the stream for like whoever was watching / other people later. But the way that they were sharing them was, instead of just playing them and listening, because that would be kind of awkward, they were playing this game called Audiosurf to those games. Yeah, so I hadn't played it in 8 years and years, but watching them play it, I was like, oh, man, I gotta buy this game again. And it turned out, because it's still the holiday season, that it was on sale on Steam for like $5, which it probably
What's
still is.
Audiosurf?
I will tell you.
Oh.
Excuse me. It's a game where it basically can take like any audio file and turn it into like a racetrack that you then can play as like a game.
Oh, cool.
It's so cool. And the old one, so there's Audiosurf and there's Audiosurf 2, and the one that I had played way back like in my college days was like the first Audiosurf, and you had to have the files locally on your computer for them to like analyze it and turn it into a track that you could play. But the new one, you can pull up like YouTube URLs of anything, and it will turn it into a track that you can play. And if it's played it before, it like saves you a ton of loading time because like it's already processed it. So you just like jump right in, because it takes a little bit of time for it to like figure out like what are the peaks and valleys, and where like the thing, it rides like a slide kind of like when a song is slow, it'll be like uphill and it'll go kind of slowly, and there won't be as many like things for you to you are basically playing as a plane on a track with 3 lanes, and there will be like things that you either want to like capture or avoid on like the 3 lanes of the track. So you're like riding around this plane like on this, track that's moving along at the tempo of the song. So when the song is like slow or when it's calm, you'll be going uphill, and everything will be kind of like purple and blue hues and stuff like that. And then when things pick up, then it'll start like taking you downhill, and when things get really crazy, it'll turn the whole track into like a corkscrew, and like you'll spin like around and go crazy, and like it's really cool.
So cool.
And also, if there's like a strong beat to the song, then the whole track, rather than being smooth, it kind of like bounces along. So like you really like are, and also the blocks that you're capturing tend to be like aligned with beats or like music notes in the song. So you're like also playing along with the like not just the tempo, but like the actual song itself. So it's like very cool.
You know what? I just peeked at it. You know what? It almost looks like, without having played it, is that game we used to play, Hannah, in Florida, Jet Salon, or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
It is reminiscent of that visually, definitely.
I love that game too.
And it's a similar sort of thing. Like you are one thing and you're trying to avoid other things / catch them. But yeah, I mean, the gameplay is pretty simple, but like there's just like endless possibilities for what the tracks can look like because it's completely based on the song. And also like I super suck at it now.
You're rusty.
I'm rusty. But I did download it and I've been playing it the last couple of days. I played some Hamilton tracks on it. I played
cool.
Wait For It right before we got on here, and that was pretty cool. It's got a good build up.
I think I have that on Steam actually.
Do you have to? Is Steam like a monthly membership thing?
No.
Nope.
Is that where we would play
get a Steam account.
Dominion?
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say you should get a Steam account because that's where Tabletop Simulator is.
I'm gonna do that like right after this, and maybe we could even just play some Dominion.
Right after this,
I would do that.
Well, Ben has a date with somebody else.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to get Nodbot to play Dominion.
Yeah, our dad.
Oh, nice, cool. We'll do it another time.
Uncle
We'll
Brown.
set up the time.
Yeah,
Uncle Brown.
Uncle Brown like only likes 2 board games, but apparently he's gonna try Dominion too, and he's gonna love it.
I think he'll like it.
Fun.
I think he's gonna love it. Yeah.
So
it seems like something he'd like.
It totally does.
Can I
He's a smart person.
say something related to video game music because it just reminded me because you brought it up?
Mm-hmm.
I saw a video yesterday about a mechanic in Super Mario Odyssey, which is that the sound effects in the game harmonize with the background music.
They what?
They harmonize with the background music.
Oh.
And I'll send you guys the video and maybe we can post it like with the description about it because it's only like 3 minutes and it goes through examples of like, 'cause once you beat the game, you can change the background music in the stage you're in to like whatever you want.
Uh-huh.
And it even like changes tempo and like it doesn't just change key of like the sound effects. It like will change the chord. It will like go along with the chord progressions of the song. It's like crazy detailed and it's such a small detail that so few people will notice. But it's like such a Nintendo thing to add that in just to like give the game such a clean and cohesive feel. I love learning that. I love cool. Nintendo.
Yeah, you should send the video. Put it
I
in
will.
For sure.
That's on the Switch?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Y'all are gonna turn me into video game players, yo.
We're doing our best.
Not a bad thing to be.
Not just one, but multiple video game players.
That's all I've really got to say about that.
That's cool. I'm gonna sign up for a Steam account and do that.
Great
do it.
Segment.
Thank you.
Great segment.
Freaking great.
Oh, we have a listener email that I forgot to read last week.
You bastard.
Yeah.
I
actually forgot to plug all of our social media channels last week. We only did our
you?
personal ones.
I want to do a quick shout out.
Okay.
I have a shout out to our very own Ben, who got fucking straight A's this semester.
Oh, thank
Baby
you.
Ben.
Fucking impressive, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So proud of you for doing so well in your preschool class, Baby Ben.
It's hard.
It's hard.
I know.
Also, shout out to a really great So Dreamy episode this week.
Thank you.
There may be another one. What's your release schedule?
I think it's going to be either Sundays or Mondays going forward. Okay. It's going to be weekly.
So maybe another one.
I have to tell you that I'm pretty sure that episode 3 is the best one yet when it comes out. It was really different. We tried something totally different and it was really fun to record. So I think it'll be
awesome. I loved episode 2.
Thank you. Me
You
too.
guys were really nice to me on that one.
That's true. Actually, speaking of So Dreamy, the email I forgot to read last week was from my So Dreamy co-host, our cousin Rachel. And it was about the episode from the week before, so I need to refresh everybody's memory that at one point somebody said something about selling like hotcakes, and Erin said, "I've never bought a hotcake in my life." And we all laughed. That was also the episode where I said same question and then I was completely wrong. So
You heard like a word of my question. You're like, yeah, same question.
right. So the subject of this email is different question. And the body of the email is, are hotcakes and pancakes the same? If so, I'm willing to bet $1 million that you have all bought hotcakes in your life.
Yes, they are the same, but I've never
They are?
bought. Yeah, I've never bought a pancake labeled as a hotcake.
Splitting hairs.
Okay, that expression makes
Semantics.
so much more sense to me. I thought they were like a honey bun or something, like some kind of pastry like that.
Oh, no. I actually thought they were different too, but I looked them up right before I read this, and the definition on Merriam-Webster of hotcake literally is just pancake.
Listen, motherfucker, if it were splitting hairs, then the saying would be selling like pancakes.
Why do pancakes need 3 names? Because they're also flapjacks.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have 1 name. Why do pancakes need 3?
You have 3 names, Benjamin. Bleep, bleep.
Yeah, I guess. All right.
Yeah.
Just
that's
blast
what I
my
thought.
full name on the ears neck.
And your social security number is. You can bleep that out. Benjamin. Bleep, bleep.
Whatever.
I think we've talked about our last name enough that if someone really wanted to find us, they probably could.
Well,
I have a
I can
Facebook
cut
group.
it out
Benjamin. Bleep, bleep.
if you want me to.
I don't really care.
Yeah, Benjamin. Bleep, bleep.
I
Benjamin. Bleep, bleep.
do
Did
not
you
really
guys,
care if you cut it out or not.
speaking of our Facebook group, did you guys see that I'm deactivating my Facebook account?
No. Why?
I did see that.
Because I want to spend more time reading books and focusing on my hobbies.
Oh.
I love
Great
reading
job.
books. So I
Yeah,
support
me too.
that.
I'm reading a really great book that will probably be next week's obsession.
Can't.
That's
Wait.
cool. Congrats on your willpower. And your great hair.
Congrats on your hair.
Thanks. I just did this. This is more a testament to how badly I need
Erin
a
has,
shower.
like Jimmy Neutron hair, right?
Yeah.
I also need a shower. That's about, I would say, a third of the reason that I didn't go over to my parents' house to record tonight. It was like, you're gonna have to shower, and it's 9 degrees outside. So I haven't left the house today. There's nothing under this sweatshirt. I'm just like so cozy.
I mean, I've been in a shark onesie all day. I worked from home today. I have a little cold, so I'm not going in probably tomorrow either. So I'm also probably not leaving the house. Well, I'm probably going to go to the store. But other than that, until...
It's so nice.
Yeah, I'm in my pajamas that I slept in, so I'm living that vacation life as well.
We are killing
We're
it.
killing it. We're murdering it.
Brutally.
Well, great.
Cool. Should we do homework?
Yeah.
Were we in the middle of talking about something else?
Were we?
Nope.
No, maybe
I
not.
don't know. I just said no.
Oh, speaking of we were about to read an email. We were in the middle of
Oh
reading.
my god,
Oh
you're
no,
right.
that was the whole email. It was just that one
Oh,
sentence.
okay.
it was? Oh, okay.
Oh, great. Okay, good.
Don't worry.
Don't worry, we forgot to read it last week. Of course I'm worried. Any more listener emails?
No, that's it. That's it.
That's it. What episode is this going to be?
Episode
18.
18.
Okay, cool.
Our show's coming of age.
Hip hip hooray.
So, Erin, what's your homework?
Well, get this great book, The Science of Cooking. Really fucking interesting. Very beautiful. I think it's definitely worth just picking up. Purchasing.
What's the author's name again?
It's by Dr. Stuart Farrimond, and that's Farrimond.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your social media?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at ErinByrne. I'm still going to keep that around. You can find my movie and book review Instagram at Lesbian Movie Reviews. Still going to keep that around.
Cool.
Okay, bye.
Ben?
My homework is, I guess, to see Star Wars if you haven't, and tell us what you think of it. See if you agree with Hannah or me about it. And then
Oh my
also,
gosh, it's Ghosts
maybe
versus Zombies all over again.
we were on the same side for that though.
Yeah.
Maybe look up endometriosis because it's kind of interesting. As a disease, or not if you don't want to, because it's also a medical disease. So.
Oh, it's a medical disease.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense.
As opposed to those non-medical diseases.
My tweetar is what, I forgot it for a second. It's NE Disco Greg. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I post pictures of my cat all the time.
Yeah.
I took a really great one the other day that I'm really proud of. It's one of my favorites of him, so go check it out. He's really cute.
He's in my parents' basement right now.
Yep, as am I.
Yeah, they both are. But I got to hang out with him on Christmas Day. That was fun.
Yeah, and
Play
you can
games.
testify
He's
that
crazy.
he is crazy. Crazy cute.
He's cute. He's also crazy. He's so crazy it's cute. So cute
Exactly.
it's crazy. Both of those.
Both, equally.
Okay, my homework is to get a Steam account, Erin.
Okay.
It's free.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Download Audiosurf. And
Is that free? It's 75% off, I saw.
Yeah, it's not free. But it's I would say it's if you like music and if you have been potentially looking for ways to like really connect with music and focus on it in a real way when you're listening to it, that Audiosurf has been for me a really great way to do that. Because you are like, yeah, you're doing like this thing, but you're also like you're not doing anything else while you're like absorbing like this song and its lyrics and everything else, and like I said, like the mechanics of the game are not that complicated, so so I like it for that reason. And also, you know, if you do get a Steam account, maybe also download Board Game Simulator and we can play
Tabletop Simulator.
How much is
tabletop.
that?
I always call it that. Tabletop.
I do too.
Simulator.
I do the same thing.
I don't know that. Do you know, Ben?
I think it's $15, but it
Okay.
might be on sale. I haven't
It
checked.
could be on sale.
And then that would be something that Dominion would be free if I had that.
I think so.
Cool.
Okay. And then if you want to reach us as an ear snack on Twitter, we're on Twitter at 2broadpod, TOO. Oh, wait. My Twitter is at Anthropology, like anthropology, like the study of people with an H at the beginning of it and a Y at the end of it. And our ear snack Twitter is at 2broadpod, TOO broadpod, like a pod of narwhals. Our podcast email, our ear snack email is waytoobroad@gmail.com. If you want to write to us and let us know what you thought of Star Wars, or you know what the best songs to play on Audiosurf are, or really anything,
I will definitely read your entire email.
within at least 2 weeks.
I'll make sure of it.
And if you enjoyed yourself with us today, nerding out about all manner of things, you can leave us a rating or review on iTunes. And I do also want to give a shout out to, we got a new review on iTunes and it was very nice.
Oh,
and I
great.
wanted to mention that person by name, but I just can't find iTunes. So
Hold on, I'm almost there.
to iTunes?
Fun. Mandy K.
To Mandy K, thank you for the review. It was nice.
To Mandy K.
I don't think we know her.
No, I don't think we do. So it might be the first review that I can't actually track the origin of it. So that might be sad to admit, but I really appreciate the nice review.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks, Mandy.
Thank ya.
Thank you guys for a
Thanks,
great
everybody.
episode 18 in the books.
Thanks for you guys. Thanks for our listeners. Thanks for Christmas. Thanks for all of it.
Thanks for Christmas.
Thanks for the promise of a brand new year coming up.
Thanks for whoever for allowing all three of us to be in our pajamas 100% of today.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks you.
Bye.